So, good day. Uh, for today, we will talk about population health. So, my source it will be from Epidemiology of Advanced Practice Nurse by Porsche Demetrius. So, you can view that source from the link presented here. So, population health was first a concept and now it's a field of study. It is a concept that uh, first asks what are the patterns of health determinants, um, what factors determines health, and then they identify disparities or inequalities that is related to those determinants of health. By identifying the disparities and inequalities, what policies or interventions can we do so that we can somehow equalize these disparities? And then towards a health outcome and the distribution of these outcomes in the population. So magiging equitable yung pagkaka-distribute nila. Then after that, there will be new patterns of health determinants to identify, and we go around the process again. We do the process again. So how is it related to public health? Well, public health is a core component of population health. So within population health, part of it is public health. So public health is concerned with protecting the health of populations. The core functions are focused on assessment, assurance, policy development that bring about impact on the health of individuals, families, and communities. So, pag healthy ang individuals within a family, pag lahat ng individuals within the family is healthy, that family is healthy. If all the families in the community are healthy, then that community is healthy. So population health generate information to inform public health so that they can create strategies for deployment. So population health looks into the health determinants and informs public health kung merong problem. These are the 10 essential public health services to protect and promote the health of all people in all communities. So, the 10 essential public health services. So, yung una, yung assessment, it involves assess and monitor population health. So, merong certain monitoring systems or surveillance systems that monitor population health. So, pag may nag-trigger doon, dumami yung cases of dengue or nung malaria, tetanus sa isang lugar, so nagti-trigger ng investigation to diagnose ano yung uh, what happened, meron bang index case, o meron bang hazard, marami bang masyadong aso na nakakawala doon, address the hazards and the root causes. So pagka nakita nila yon and may need ng public action, then they communicate effectively to inform and educate the ano the public. So kung maraming aso do sa particular lugar na yon, to communicate o iwasan niyo yung mga aso para hindi kayo makagat, or ingatan yung mga bata na naglalaro, or itali or ikulong yung mga aso. Then after communicating, they strengthen and support and mobilize communities and partnerships. So hindi lang ang health or ang authorities ang involved dyan. Pati ang school, para to disseminate yung information, yung barangay to implement yung dogs within their houses. So, para mabawasan yung cases of rabies doon sa lugar. So, sabi nila, yung mga barangay, i-implement nyo yung pag i-implement nung pagtatali ng aso or nakakulong yung mga aso. And then we create, champion, and implement policies, plans, and laws. So pagdating sa policy development, dito na pumapasok yung pag-create ng mga policies or laws that will apply to those new cases or kung merong increase of new cases. Then we utilize and legal and regulatory action. So yung mga police natin, yung mga those who are in the barangay, then para yung legal means, yung mga hindi sumusunod, yung mga pasaway, so there are legal means para to make them obey. And pagdating sa assurance, factor ng assurance of public health, we enable equitable access. So, nandun na rin yung equity. Pagdating sa access to these, kung kailangan natin ng materials o mga kadena or kulungan, education din, vaccination of dogs para mabawasan yung rabies sa lugar. So, kung ngayon may mga certain governments na pinoprovide yung access na yun. So kahit ang regular meron kang asong kalsada or asong Pinoy, you have access to dog vaccination. So build a diverse and skilled workforce. So yung mga health workers, yung mga veterinarians, yung mga uh, nanguhuli ng mga stray dogs, so mga skilled workforce yun. So binemaintain yung workforce nun to implement yung mga laws, yung mga policies, saka yung mga services. And then, kung may kulang, we improve and innovate through evaluation, research, and quality improvement. So, dito pumapasok yung research. Tinitignan, meron bang mga gaps din sa mga services na na-mention before? So, how can we improve them? And then build and maintain a strong organizational infrastructure for public health. So, meron bang mga hospitals, meron bang mga veterinarians, may mga health centers ba? Pwedeng puntahan ng mga tao, yung mga clients para mapagamot yung kanilang sarili at kanilang mga sicknesses. So, population health requires systems thinking. So, we are looking at the big picture. Ano yung system ng healthcare, ng public health, ng pag-approach sa community, pag-approach sa mga collaborators. What are the implications of health problems that are affecting the entire society? So, hindi lang siya simple na cause and effect. Minsan maraming causes bringing about an effect and several effects. What are the health issues of the marginalized, vulnerable, and high-risk groups? So, sa simpleng pag-ulan, sa isang lugar na umuulan, pag medyo mayaman ka, secured ka dun sa bahay na tinitira mo. Pero paano yung mahihirap? Yung lugar nila, konting ulan, binabaha. O kaya umuulan, pati yung loob ng bahay nila basa din dahil maraming tulo yung bubong. So pagka basa yung loob ng bahay, damp yung mga gamit nyo, minsan yung damit nyo nababasa din. So, ano yung mga sakit na nakuha nyo tuwing tag-ulan. So, mas madali kang magkasakit. So, sila yung mga marginalized, yung mga poor, yung mga vulnerable, yung mga exposed sa mga environments, sa dagat, sa bundok, and those who are high-risk groups, yung mga may sakit, yung mga elderly, at yung mga very young. So, tinitignan nyo ng population health. So, defining population. Okay. So, how do we define a population? We are looking for the number of individuals in a particular defined geographical area. So, kung ilan kung ilang persons ang tumitira sa isang bahay or ilang persons ang nakatira sa isang barangay, isang city, isang country, a defined geographical area, that is a population. So the smallest unit of population is a family. Kung dalawa man yan, husband and wife or mother and child, uh, it is a family. So it is the smallest uh, defined population. Also, kung hindi man geographical area, merong mga common characteristics. Example, they are living in the same place, kagaya ng mountainous area or tabi ng dagat, or they have common characteristics na uh, eating the same kind of food. Siguro kumain sila ng uh, same ice cream na naglalako ng ice cream vendor. So, lahat ng dinaanan na road ng ice cream vendor na yon is also a population. Those na na-expose doon sa pagkain ng ice cream. Or pagka kumain ng pansit sa isang handaan. So, it is also a population. And there are those population with common risk factors. Yung mga may high blood, diabetes, yung mga mothers, those are common risk factors. Included din dyan yung mga those who are smoking and those who are drinking. So there are certain mga illnesses na nakikita dun sa mga risk factors na yun. So ano yung mga common illnesses na observe with them? Okay, next. So how do we define health? It is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So, ang definition ng health ng World Health Organization 1994 is a complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So, hindi lang yung physical na nakikita natin, but also the mind, yung mental, yung intelligence, wisdom. So, depende sa education na na-receive nila. Social well-being, yung mga emotions, relationships, yung community, yung support na nakukuha ng isang person. And not merely na, wala naman akong sakit kaya healthy ako. Hindi lang yun. Do you have the other factors as well? So, yun yung definition of health. So, we go back to population health. It began as a concept and now it is a field of study. So, we look at more in-depth kung ano ba yung patterns of health determinants. Ano ba tong health determinants na to? So, health determinants of population health would include genetics. Bakit may mga bansa pagka nag-enter sila ng team sa basketball, ang tatangkad nila? Bakit yung Philippines ang liliit? Kailangan pa natin mag-import ng mga lahi galing sa ibang countries para meron tayong laban dun sa mga bansang iyon. Okay, behavior. Ano ba yung mostly kinakain ng mga tao doon, yung diet nila? Is it more of a vegetable-based diet or is it more of a meat-based diet? Ano yung, kung meat, anong klaseng luto ng meat? Mga lechon ba, adobo, or kung gulay, anong klaseng mga gulay? Yung oily ba na gulay or steamed na mga gulay? So, environment. So, depende kung nasa ang lugar ka, kung ang environment mo ba ay polluted or malinis ba? Polluted ba ang hangin o yung tubig o yung soil, walang nag-grow na crops? Or is it clean, fresh yung air, tapos pagka nagtanim ka, fertile ang land? So, yun ang type of environment. Or, are you living in a city na may mga cars, may noise pollution? Then, we have the social factors. Gaya ng ano yung income, ano yung housing na nare-receive, uh, may education ba na nare-receive yung population, and policy. Ano yung mga existing policies na nagawa so that they can regulate the health determinants? Or is it easy to make new policies? Kung may mga bagong proposals na kulang tayo ng ganitong law, nakakagawa ba kagad? Okay? And medical care. May accessible ba na hospitals o mga health facilities? May manpower ba ng yung mga hospitals? May mga equipment ba? May mga gamot ba na na-provide? So, these are health determinants of population health. So, from here, meron bang questions? Type sa chat box or sa in-call messages. So, life is unfair. That is the inequity that is present in our population. So there are differences in health status and distribution of health resources among certain populations. So 2018 pa to identified ng the World Health Organization. Pero up to now, same pa rin yung situation. Meron pa rin differences in health status. So population health strategies, these are interventions on multiple determinants. So hindi lang isa, but multiple, from education, housing, environment, what behaviors must be changed so that maging mas healthy, that mitigate the inequalities. So nagko-collaborate dito, uh, the assessment of approach, paano ba atake natin, saan tayo papasok, dito ba sa harap, head on, dito ba tayo sa gilid, baka naman dito tayo sa likod, or sabay-sabay na pasok. So depende sa approach, no? Kung uh, depende sa organizational role and uh, organizational responsibility. So, andyan din yung allocation of resources. Who gets how much? Magkano yung makukuha nyo uh, na resource or funding based on the sa allocated budget. So, dito sa Pilipinas, ang DepEd ang pinakamalaking slice of the national budget. Uh, However, do sa recent events, makita nyo sa Congress, inaano pala nila yan, ini-slice, tapos nag insert ng mga new projects, depende kung sino yung nag endorse. So, after dito sa DepEd na makipag-away kami, mag-debate kung ano yung priority program or building na ipapatayo, ilang klase man ipapatayo, kung merong mang clinic na ipapatayo. Then, in the end, pagdating pala doon sa Congress, doon sa taas, scrap lahat yon and ipapalit flood control project. So, puro flood control project ba ang babudgetan ng ano natin? Kaya merong shared accountability. Count how much was done. So, after all the planning, so, kaya nakita doon na, oh, may flood control project. How much was done? Partial lang or uh, mababa yung quality ng ginawang dike. Or totally walang dike. Totally, it was a ghost project. So, ngayon, they are facing the accountability part. Kaya, uh, sana nga stronger yung accountability, no? And not much more uh, na ano sa na halt ng investigation, na halt ng politics, ng pagka party partisan system. So dahil kaparty mo, pareho kayo ng partido, hindi mo na siya iniimbestigahan. Ang iniimbestigahan mo yung kabilang partido. So yun, pagdating sa collaboration, merong assess the approach, strategize, allocation of resources, who gets how much, and shared accountability, count how much was done. So these are the obstacles affecting health, poverty. So makita na yung social status is directly uh, related to the health status. So habang mahirap ang isang community, yung health din nila nagsasuffer. So mapapansin doon, they die early, they die of common diseases na hindi naman dapat ikinamamatay pero nagiging cause of death nila. So usually by 30 pa lang namamatay na by infection or hindi mabiling gamot or napabayaan na sakit. Also, there is powerlessness. Kapag those in power, ina-abuse nila yung power nila, yung nasa baba, titingin na lang, walang magawa, no? And yet, we continue to pay our taxes. So nakikita mo na, ba't ginaganon yung budget? Tapos wala tayong magawa dito sa baba. And yet, BIR will continue to require us to pay our taxes. Pag hindi mo binayaran taxes mo, hahabulin ka nila, uhulihin, or magpapataw ng malalaking penalties and fines. And another obstacle is poor access. Poor access to jobs with fair pay, those for quality education, housing, safety, and healthcare. So, example ng to jobs with fair pay. So, example yung basurero, yung naglalako ng bote bakal. Mag masipag siya, matyaga siya, pero ang nakukuha niyang sweldo, ang baba. Kasi, ang bili doon sa mga products niya, kunyari, 1 kilo of paper is only 1 peso. Pag nagbenta siya ng bakal, medyo mataas ang presyo nun, maaring 50 pesos to 100 pesos. Pero he will toil the whole day. Example din, kunyari sa mga nurses, ang ang sweldo nila dito is, sabihin mo, example, 10,000 pesos. To see 30 patients in a ward, sa isang hospital ward, 30 patients, to go on duty for 8 to 12 hours. So, they will get 10,000 pesos a month. Pero sa ibang bansa, to see 10 patients na naka-assign sa'yo, doing the same thing, doing the same pagod or puyat, but you will get 100,000 pesos a month. So, yung sweldo nila dito, i-multiply mo by 10, parang pagdating mo doon, kahit mapagod ka, wow, compensated ang aking pagod. So, kaya marami sa ating mga health workers nag-work sa abroad because of access to jobs with fair pay. So generally dito sa Philippines, mababa yung ano natin, minimum wage. It is just enough para meron kang kainin, may pambayad ka ng ah, bills, may pambayad ka ng rent, mag-commute ka from your house papunta sa work, and then at the end of the day, magkano natira? Wala, nauubos din lahat. Tapos, dyan na po nagiging problem kapag nagkakasakit, dahil walang natitirang savings, pagka nagkasakit na, walang pambayad sa hospital or pambili ng gamot. Okay? Healthcare. Next. So when population health is discussed, what factors come into play that influence the health of a population? What sickness do they commonly experience? So, uh, ano yung mga factors para ng health population? So, yun yung mga health determinants. Dahil doon, what sickness do they commonly experience? And what ways can we improve so that they may maintain optimal health? So ano yung mga interventions natin, ano yung policies natin na pwedeng pa gawin para ma-improve or ma-maintain ma-achieve yung optimal health ng population. So where we are now, most of it is because of what has been done in the past. So we take a look at the history of public health and then the emergence of population health. So population health as a formal concept emerged in the late 20th century. So late 20th century, so 1970s, 1980s. Pero yung roots niya can be traced back centuries to ancient civilizations. So public health practices were often focused on preventing disease through sanitation and quarantine. So yung ancient civilizations, para mag-survive sila during that time, uh, kailangan yung army nila malakas. Kung yung army mo ay sakitin, so yung general population, sakitin, madumi yung tubig na iniinom nila, generally wala silang kinakain, so yung population mo mahina, yung army mo mahina. Para ka maging empire, dapat maayos mo muna yung health ng inyong community para pag may umatake man sa inyo, dahil healthy yung population, kaya niya i-defend sarili niya. Or, kung kayo ay mag-go into battle, meron kayong water, meron kayong food, meron kayong resources, arms, tapos susunod na yung strategy. Pero yung pinaka root niya na uh, major factor is yung health ng iyong population. Kaya those empires that discovered these, yung mga communities na na-discover ito, they were the ones who became eventually empires. Okay. So, sa ancient Egypt, the Egyptians developed sophisticated systems for sanitation, including sewage disposal and water purification. So yung ang main source of water nila sa Egypt yung river Nile, di ba? Nile River. So abundant yung water na yun. Tapos gumawa sila ng mga side canals para i-irrigate yung kanilang farms. So kilometers to the left, kilometers to the right, and then they develop piping systems na magdi-drain sa mga several water filters. Kunyari, merong unang water filter, mud. Magsasettle sa bottom yung maduduming sediments. And then sa taas, yun lang yung magpo-proceed to the next level. And so on until pagdating doon sa dulo, yung water na marireceive ng pharaoh o ng household ay yung pwede na siyang inumin. Okay. And also, yung waste disposal nila. So, paano nila tinatapon yung water? Pagka nag-flood yung Nile River, tapos nag-recede, sumasama na doon sa Nile River yung sewerage nila and out into the Mediterranean water, leaving Egypt na sanitary and clean. So, ganun nila nililinis yung Egypt during that time. And Roman Empire, the Romans built aqueducts. So later on, may papapanood ako sa inyo on Roman aqueducts na hanggang ngayon nag-exist pa din. No? There are certain aqueducts na still standing pero wala na siyang water sa ibabaw. Kumbaga napalitan na yung mga aqueducts ng mga water pipes. To supply, these aqueducts supply clean water to the cities, and they also had public baths. So, doon sila naliligo, parang malalaking swimming pools. Then yung overflow from the public baths after gamitin pampaligo, pumupunta naman sa mga toilets. So yung mga toilets na public toilets, may pang babae, may panlalaki. And then, 30 in a room, pwedeng sabay-sabay na dumumi. Tapos, yung toilet nila hindi mabaho kasi continuous yung pagtapon ng tubig. Nagfo-flow yung tubig sa ilalim. So, pagbagsak ng dumi nila sa water, diretso na siyang nafa-flush out. Yung mga flush out na yun, yung mga pinagkamitan na tubig doon sa mga public baths na ginamit na pang ligo. Tapos may mga sabon na rin yun, kung may sabon sila noon. So kasama na doon. And then, nagde-drain na siya sa sewer systems. Ang weakness lang nila ay yung panlinis nila ng puwet afterwards. So wala pa silang tabo, no? Hindi nila na-invento yung tabo noon. Kundi they have the sponge on a stick. So binababad nila yung sponge na yun sa water with salt. And then thinking na nalilinis yun o nasa-sanitize, yun yung panlinis nila ng puwet. And later on, they discovered na yung pala yung biggest uh, tool para mag-spread ang disease. Isa pala siya naging uh, aspect na pag-spread ng disease sa Roman Empire. So later on, i-invento nila yung personal towel or eventually toilet paper na naging mas sanitary for them. So sa Pilipinas, ang naimbento natin yung tabo with water na hindi kailangan ng toilet, ng paper para linisin ang puwet. So ngayon, yung tabo naging mga bidet na siya, kaya yung mga anak ko ang unang hinahanap pagka pupunta kami sa isang bahay or sa isang hotel, titignan, may bidet ba? May bidet. Yan. Dahil parang di na sila sanay gumamit ng tabo, bidet na yung ginagamit nila. And the Chinese civilization, the Chinese developed early forms of epidemiology. So inaaral nila what is happening among the people and public health practices like early forms of vaccination, including quarantine and the use of herbs for medicinal purposes. So, tinitingnan nila yung mga leaves, mga kanilang mga Chinese tea, kung ano yung mga sickness or ano yung mga immune system na ini-improve nito. Kaya China, although they are not mentioned sa mga history books, pero they have their own history which is written in Chinese. Kaya lang, binabasa kasi natin English history, kaya yung mga English authors galing ng Europe, ng Amerika, yun yung nababasa natin. But there's also the Chinese history. Then the Industrial Revolution and public health reforms. Sa 19th century, the Industrial Revolution led to rapid urbanization and increased population density. So, saan galing yung population na yon? Mga dati sila nasa farmlands, Tapos, mahirap ang buhay, mabagal ang buhay. Then, nabalitaan nila, oh, nag industrial revolution doon, dumadami yung pera. So, those people flocked to the cities, nagdo-double ang kanilang population in a matter of months, creating new public health challenges. Kaya dumadami ang need ng tubig, dumadami ang waste, dumadami ang garbage, kaya new public health challenges. Kaya noong 1854, si John Snow investigated a cholera outbreak in London, which helped establish the connection between contaminated water and disease, leading to significant public health reforms. So, later on, may papanood ako sa inyong short video ni Jon Snow kung paano niya ginawa ito. And public health movements emerged in the 19th and early 20th centuries advocating for improved sanitation. So, improve na natin yung ating toilet, housing, and working conditions. So, paano ba na meron tayong bahay? How do we dispose of our waste? How do we get clean water? How do we get electricity? Tapos, and also yung working conditions. Uh, Polluted ba yung working conditions? Hazardous ba yung working environment? So, unti-unti ini-improve na nila yon because of the clamor for better environment in the workplace and in the home. So, in the 20th century and the rise of population health, health promotion and disease prevention na yung naging uh, target or focus instead of solely relying on the treatment of the disease. And there are population-based interventions such as vaccination programs, public health campaigns that became common. And the social determinants of health was recognized as part of having improving population health, like poverty, education, housing. So dahil dito, it led to a broader approach to kung paano ba tinatalakay yung health. And in terms of health equity, this emphasizes the fair and equitable distribution of health resources, outcomes, and it gained prominence. So, paano dinidistribute yung resources? Uh, Paano nakaka-create to ng mga impact do sa mga population? Uh, at pinapriorities nila yung mga marginalized, mga vulnerable, saka high-risk populations. So, modern population health is an interdisciplinary approach. It draws insights from epidemiology, sociology, the study of people and their behavior, economics, and other disciplines. This is also data driven that relies on data to identify health trends. Saan ba dumadami ang may high blood? Saan dumadami yung diabetes? So, dahil dito they were able to assess the effectiveness of interventions. Ano ba yung klaseng pagkain kinakain nila? Bakit ang daming high blood doon? And informed policy decisions. So, in terms of policy making, dahil doon sa data, mas nabe-better yung paggawa ng policy on particular, kunyari, anong klaseng food, o anong klaseng agricultural products ang ipoproduce ng isang lugar. Yun. Are we going to import these from other countries? So, mga ganong policies. Focus on prevention. So, population health emphasizes prevention and early intervention to address health problems at the population level. So, early intervention para, kumbaga, prevention is better than cure. And community engagement. So, in-engage natin community, they make it their own para yung community mismo ang nagsusustain nung program or advocacy. Uh, para it remains relevant and culturally culturally appropriate for that particular community. So, in summary, we discussed what is population health, what is its relation to public health, and the health determinants, anim yun, na health determinants of population health. Uh, so, meron tayong genetics, social factors, uh, medical care, environmental, tapos may policy, and we have behavior. And we looked into inequities and strategies on how to address inequities and collaboration among the different agencies, NGOs, and societies. We looked into the obstacles, poverty, powerlessness, and poor access. And also, we looked into a brief history of population health. If there are any questions on these topics, raise your hand or type in your questions in the chat box. Thank you.